Hi, my name is Dwayne Squires.
My name is Richard Muse.
And we're partners at Property Result Investments. Now, in this video, we're going to reveal 10 top tips for choosing a property sourcer. Now, choosing a property sourcer can be a bit complicated. There's quite a number out there with varying different experience and deals, and it can be quite challenging over who can you trust. Can you trust that property sourcer's got your best interests at heart, that the deal stacks up, and the list can go on. So hopefully in this video, you'll find some really valuable tips that you can apply that will then allow you to have more confidence, more certainty of the property source that you choose for the deal that you're about to invest in. So let's start off with number one, breadth. Now, this is a bit of a topical debate because when it comes to breadth, we believe a property source should have a variety of strategies for their specific location to agree a deal. So that could be a rent-to-rent, a lease option, an assisted sale, a below market value. The list can go in. So a breadth of deals for their specific location that makes sure that can equip you as an investor and allow you to get a deal that meets your personality, your budget, your criteria. Now, why it's topical debate is because there's a school of thought that says, no, a property source should focus on one strategy, for example, HMO, whilst there's another school of thought where we come from, where a property sourcer should have variety. And the reason links back to quite closely step two, which Rich is going to talk about.
Knowledge is key in my mind because we deal, like I said, in the northeast, and you've got to have knowledge of the area. You've got to know the towns, the villages, the streets, and that is very important because a lot of sources don't have knowledge of a specific area. They deal in the whole country, where we actually pride myself in knowing the area. I wouldn't say inside out, but I know it very, very well, and certainly County Durham, and I do know inside out. So it's very important that you've got a sourcer that has good knowledge of the area.
Yeah, and if we tick both of them off, so you do knowledge as well, and the reason why they both link together is, in our case, we focus on one area, and by having that deep underlying understanding, we can have a breadth that whenever a deal comes in, we can then determine yes or no whether it stacks up, but then what strategy works best for that motivated vendor. And that's why we're of the school of thought that says property sources should have variety and breadth in their strategy that they're deploying. So if we then move on to experience. So with experience, you should be looking for a property source that's been there, done it, wears the t-shirt. So there's a growing number of property sources who are coming up who don't even own property, never managed property, haven't got any experience. They've just found a property and looking to pass it on. Now with us, we've got experience of owning our own properties, of managing properties. We've seen the highs, we've seen the lows, and by doing so, we know exactly how and can stand in the shoes of an investor. And that's one of our rules, which is to make sure that we always provide a deal that we'll be happy to offer to a friend and family. So that means a deal that stacks up and a deal that, with all the elements coming together, provides a good, strong investment.
Yeah, the next one is network. I'd like to think that we've got a very good network of people that, refer landlords and that to us. In fact, we're slowly getting quite a name that, and a lot of landlords come to us direct, so a network to source the properties, but also it is a network of other services like the power team and letting agents and solicitors. So we're really like a one-stop shop. You come and get your deal off us, we can refer you to a letting agent, we can refer you to a maintenance guy, chaps who'll do any work or repairs, and give you the names of approved solicitors. So everything you really want from a property sourcer, we have. because we've got the network. And you're going to move on to valuations.
Yeah, so with valuations, you should be working for a property source that has a clear process for valuing their deals. So we've got an internal 5-step process that we deploy in every investment deal to make sure that it stacks up. So we've got a full-blown video on that, but as a quick summary, so 1, we use Zoopla, 2 is using Rightmove. So those 2 online platforms to gauge the demand as well as get a flavour of the prices in that area. We then move on to making sure we're doing an in-person inspection. So we look out for cosmetic as well as structural issues. And if there are structural, we bring in our own maintenance team to then determine what's the root cause of it and how do we make sure it's a fix. And they provide a quote on that. And then 4 is using what we kind of talked about before, local knowledge. So we know by street and by road what the varying prices and how to value a property. And then 5 is letting agents. So we've got a breadth and a long list of letting agents that we use. And we use their specific knowledge of that area. So not just of a city, but that specific sub-location. So it could be a group of streets or equivalent to know what's the demand for that location for tenants, how quickly can it rent, and in effect, what's the true valuation for the rentals as well. So that touches on having a 5-step process to apply for making sure you've got a clear process for valuing properties.
Number 6, track record. We've got the track record. We've been doing this for years, and more investors keep coming back time after time to buy more properties. And that's important because there's a lot of people come and go in this business, and I'd like to think that, you know, we are a very reputable company that with strong ethics and business ethics as well. So we have a great track record, and we're both proud of that.
And then 7 is testimonials. So keep it short and sweet. We've got a raft of testimonials that we're always happy to share with investors or anyone alike. And if you want to see that yourself, feel free to click the button above, and that should take you to our website, which gives you all of those details and testimonials.
Number 8, compliance. You can rest assured that we are fully compliant. We've got members of the property redress scheme. We've got property professional indemnity insurance. We're registered with the Information Commissioner. We're also members of the Residential Landlords Association. So we cover all the compliance issues, anti-money laundering, everything. So you can be assured that, you know, that is well covered, and you are dealing with somebody that, like I say, is fully compliant.
And then we come on to learning. So for this, a property source should always continue their education, should continue to learn from practical as well as theoretical experiences, because then that allows them to adjust to the market that we're in. It could be that there's a market that's a downturn or upturn or just staying flat, and through education and experience, they'll be able to deploy a strategy that works for themselves as well as for their clients.
Finally, number 10, deposit. You know that your money is going to be safe with us. We have a process which we've explained on a separate video, which shows how we deal with deposit. It goes into our client account. It does not come out until it's completed. There is conditions, obviously, that we have mentioned on that, but on a separate video. But you can be assured that the deposit is safe in our client account until...
And that's what you should be looking for when you're choosing a property sourcer. Make sure they've got a clear, separate client account. So that wraps up the top 10 tips that we suggest when you're choosing a property sourcer. So let's just recap. Breadth, knowledge, experience, network,
valuations, track record, testimonials,
compliance, learning, and deposit. So that's at a high level, but if you've got any further questions, feel free to raise them by making a comment in the comments box below, or feel free to reach out to us directly. Thank you for watching that video. If you're thinking of investing in property, have you considered investing in North East? If you have or you haven't, why not check out the full video playlist we created, which gives you the full deep dive in investing in property in the Northeast. Check it out.